Hello, this is Steve from Beato's Leatherworks, and today's project is these Alden Indy boots. What we're going to do is we're going to put full soles and heels on them and clean and condition the uppers and trying to make them look good. These are the boots that I wear every day. So mine are black, but they used to be brown. I've dyed them. I've resold them about 3-4 times, so I've had them for about 8 years. And it's not going to be a long video today. It's going to be somewhat short, so you won't have to sit there and watch my videos for an hour. I know some of you guys are happy. The ones who say speed it up. There goes my compressor again. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so we'll go ahead and remove the heel. They call this orthopedic heel and Thomas heel, I believe. Thomas or Thompson? Thomas heel, I think. Because of that curve right there. It gives it arch support basically. Once the top lift comes off, we take the heel base off. Now this is these are basically paper midsoles. It's not leather, it's paper. And I usually remove them and replace them. I'm going to put rubber on this time. Normally I'll use leather midsoles, but I don't have any leather midsoles right now. So we're going to put rubber on there. Now this piece right here needs to go back. This is the heel rand. Okay? That's just there to give it some shape, so we're not going to lose that. We're going to put new cork on them and inspect the welt, because sometimes what happens, the welt is loose. Okay? You don't want to resole a boot or a shoe with a loose welt. So we need to take care of that. We need to restitch that, secure that back together before we do anything here. Alright, let's continue. So this is called a jerk needle. You see that hook at the end? So we're going to go ahead and restitch the welt area here back to where it was. Now we're going to put it back. We're going to restitch it in the same holes, not to create new holes. Just follow the old ones. It's important to secure that loose welt, okay, because that's basically the foundation of the shoe. And if you don't secure that, and you do all this work, and you put the new soles on, and the welt is loose, well then it doesn't work. You'd have to start all over again. So this is important that we need to secure this. Now it's pretty simple actually. You put the needle through the holes, okay? Then you loop this side, attach to the hook, pull the thread right through, and then put the new thread the other, and then pull it tight. Now, when you're making new shoes, or manufacturers making new shoes, the stitch is really tight. Okay, I mean you're supposed to pull them really snug, but I try not to do too much. So you don't want to deform the shape of the shoe because you've pulled at that spot too tight. So just kind of a little bit snug does the trick, and it doesn't get rid of that, doesn't ruin that shape. And then 2-3 more and we're done. I'm going to overlap one. and then bring it on the inside here, the inside part of the shoe. This is the outside, this is the inside. Let's overlap one. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to pull it this way like that. Okay, both of them are there. Now we're going to tie this together like that. We're going to tie this together like this, and then you're done. One more time. Okay, and we cut that excess off right there. And the welt is secured. Okay, let's continue. Now it's always a good idea when you're working on some shoes and they have a midsole, even though it may look okay from the outside, okay, and the cork still should be replaced, because as you can see, the cork gets compressed over time, and it's some thin spots and then high spots. So when you're replacing soles, it's a good idea to at least for the foot part here to be replaced. Sometimes I do leave this here in the shank area if it's in good shape, but for the least part that needs replacing is the front part right there, where the actual foot is kind of being stepped, stepping down the ball of the foot. Now this welt is not in bad shape, but we do have to pick the stitches that was holding the soles on, soles on. So because you're going to put a set of new ones on there, you want to make sure that you clean these off. And I'll speed that up so you don't have to watch the paint dry. Let's continue. All right, we've got the cork at the fore part of the foot. Now this fabric here basically is there so when materials rub against each other, it doesn't squeak. So we'll call this anti-squeak fabric. It's just a piece of canvas. Now this is the rubber midsole I was telling you guys about. It's very thin, about 1/8 of an inch thick. Now, is it going to add some weight to the boot? It will add a little bit of weight, but nothing that the customer is really going to notice. It's not that much. Leather would have been slightly lighter, but again, nothing really that much for the customer to notice that he has a little bit of heavier boots. Now at this stage here, what we're going to do, we're going to clean the boot, because on the welt it's going to have white stitches, and you can't have a dirty boot with white stitches, because if you don't clean the boot now, the dirt's going to get on the white stitches, and that defeats the purpose of leaving the stitches white on the welt. So we're going to clean up as best as we can. It's not going to be brand new looking, but it'll look much better than what it is now. All right, let's hammer the edges of the sole of the welt down to get rid of the air pockets. It is secured, and we'll start working on the uppers now. Alright, let's continue. whatchamacallit, the cork rubber soles, just like the original comes in. Do you guys hear the hammering? Is it loud enough? Look what I got today. You guys ready? One of my customers named Ed DeVito sent me this. You're awesome, buddy. I appreciate it. But this is huge. Man, I can't have coffee in this. I'd have a heart attack. That's a lot of coffee. Well, you know what? I'm gonna fill it up about this much. I can't do the whole thing. No way. Look how big this is. Love it. Oh, let's continue. Just a little bit of acetone. We don't want to make the welt look brand new, just kind of clean the surface of that. So it looks a little better. Now just a little bit on the uppers also. Now acetone is pretty harsh, but use it in moderation, so it works pretty good. And when we're applying polish to it, you got to be careful of the white threads right there. Well, they were white, but they're like beige now. So we still don't want to color those. Ticket. Not too bad. Let that dry. Work on the... Oh boy, this phone hasn't stopped all day today. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, let's continue. So now we're going to stitch the soles on. Okay, now we call this the top thread. In actuality, it's the bottom of the shoe thread, right? We're going to call this white one the bottom thread. Now I had this machine set up with black thread. There's the black thread. So I had to switch it over to the white thread because the thread needs to be white on the welt, because that's how it was from the manufacturer. You want to keep it the same. So, and then the red, you can do any color you want. I just chose red. I think it's kind of cool. So. That white you're looking at is just lubricant. That's all it is. Now, it's not too bad. I think there's a nice contrast. All right? T, can I have the other boot, please? All right, let's track this one too. Can you guys see? See if I can get a better angle on this camera. I don't think I'm going to be able to. T, you want a videotape? Okay, we're going to have Mr. T videotape us. Hold on, see if I can. I don't know if I can switch it over. Oh, can't see it, T. Just keep it like this, right there. Couldn't turn it over, so you're just kind of holding the camera for me. That's good, right there. I like that. Alright, let's continue. So, at this stage, we've got the back of the heel nailed, basically securing the back of the sole here to the uppers. And once the nails go in, they hit the end of the metal last there, and they cinch the heels down, and it's pretty secure. Now, what most people do at this stage, they have the heel base, okay? They'll put it on the shoe, and then they'll sand the top right here to give it some balance, and then they put this on there, right? So I do things a little differently, because once this heel block is on and you put the top lift on, you only have a 24 grit sandpaper to sand this. Is called the breast of the heel, and I don't like that rough area. So what I do is I glue the base and the top lift together, and I sand this right here very nice and smooth. Then it goes on the shoe. Now, trick is here, you have to balance this, okay? Make sure that the shoe is balanced. If you push in the back of the heel, it can't teeter-totter. So this is pretty good. It's nice and balanced now. Now, when the heel goes on, you don't touch the breast of the heel. It's nice and smooth. All right, let's continue. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions about certain repair, please email me. If you go right here, About, it has all my information, the company name, address, phone number, the IG, Facebook names. There's my email address, betos@yahoo.com, the telephone number for the shop. So just email me. And if you have something that you want to send to me, please come on this side here, if this computer will move. Oh, shipping form right here. You guys see that? Shipping form. If you click onto that, and you'll have the form, please fill that out and send that in. This way I know whose items are whose, so we don't get things backlogged more than we are now. All right, let's continue. All right, welcome back. We're done with another project. I got stains on my glasses. Okay, so it didn't turn out too bad. Now, I couldn't get these stitches that white. I mean, I can take a small little paintbrush and put like acrylic dye on top of it, maybe to bring it up, whatever. But I think it looks fine. I think the more important are the stitches on the welt that has that nice white color that pops against that brown background. Now, I missed the part where I did the uppers. Basically what I used was a Saphir number 3 cream, and then Bic 4. It's a Bic More product, but it's called Bic 4 to condition the entire boot. And I think it turned out fine. Alright, well, thank you for watching me. And I hope you share it and comment. And we'll see you again on the next one.